Wagwan, you little leggings, what's poppin'? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I've flipped around my office, the studio. You can't see it, but I've already moved everything all over the gaff. I'm now looking straight down the barrel at you, mate. No more angles of me talking at different kind of angles like this. I've got new lighting. The quality should be a little bit different as well. And I'm hoping slight touches can improve the quality of content. In today's Chelsea news video, we're speaking about furious Enzo Maresca with the Chelsea team losing to the under-21s. Is that a bad story? Possibly. And I also want to look at some insane Georgi Petrovic stats. Actually, changing my opinion a little bit on him. I always thought he was good, but maybe I'm starting to think he could be the guy, personally. So I'm taking that into consideration. Similarly, another Strasbourg loanee that's returning, Andre Santos. We're going to look at his numbers. Because I heard Simon Johnson of The Athletic today on The Athletic podcast, not the Chelsea one, the official Athletic one, saying he reckons there's an argument that he's the best midfielder in Ligue 1 this season. Not just the best young midfielder, but the best midfielder, period. Does he get into the Chelsea starting lineup? We'll talk a little bit, maybe do some stats comparisons as well. So it's going to be a ruddy good time. We're going to have fun. We will. I promise. Strap yourselves in. As always, I'll thank you for supporting my content here on Football Therapy. You can do so just by liking the video, dropping a like, subscribing if you want to, hitting the bell if you choose to, mate. All right, let's get into it. So, first of all, I'm going to reference the Daily Mail. Sorry. For this article with Maresca being annoyed with the Chelsea boys losing to the under-21s. Enzo Maresca has cancelled a day off for Chelsea first team after they flopped to a humiliating. Needs to adjust the camera angle, and yes, I have a spot on my head. A 3-0 defeat to the club's under-21s during Wednesday's training session. But I thought, most of Chelsea's first team is under-21s anyway. Lol. The first team players who were on international duty were set to have Thursday off. However, the Blues boss was so concerned with what he saw on the training ground that he demanded his players return to Cobham for an extra session. Lest we forget, we're going to be coming back into the season, the league, playing Tottenham. And we don't know what Tottenham's going to turn up as well. Maresca will be desperate for Chelsea not to throw away their fine start to the season, which was a great start to the season, as their campaign enters the final run-in after an impressive start to the Italians' tenure in West London. Yeah, it is boom or bust, isn't it? It does feel like that with these final 9-ish games in the Prem. We are currently 4th and in the race for Champions League football, but we're just 5 points ahead of 10th, which is Bournemouth, who are also a very good footballing side. Maresca has been training this week without the likes of captain Reece James and Enzo Fernandez, who have both been excellent for their respective international teams. Donnell McNeely scored twice for the U21s, who, by the way, scores loads of goals for Chelsea. So, very interesting that he slapped us up. So I'm trying to wonder if we know who played in this game. So with a week to go until they host rivals London rivals Tottenham, Maresca tested the remainder of his first team squad against the U21s. He was bitterly disappointed to see Chelsea's youngsters outwork and outperform the senior stars, and the teams were made up of the under-21s players, even some from the under-16s. Ish. It's embarrassing, but there is an element of, they're good. They're still all Chelsea players, right? Although the ones we're putting out against Spurs are the losers. Donnell McNeely scored twice, like it's previously stated there. Look, we've seen Palmer train, we've seen Nico Jackson train. Did they play in this game? If they did, that's bad. I guess it might be hard to get up for it. It shouldn't be. It's an opportunity to have a good test to get you sharp for what is a huge game. But, for the under-21s, for them, it's massive, isn't it? Getting one over the first team, and for maybe the first team, it's a little bit meh. But no excuses. It's bad. Will it affect us moving forwards? Find out next week. All right, let's talk about some stuff then in the miserable, sobering reality of our goalkeeper being Robert Sanchez. Georgie Petrovic has been very, very good. I'm about to show you some statistics. Of course, we've got Kepa Arrizabalaga is doing quite well, but he will, I think, there's more reports today. Fabrizio Romano has reiterated Bournemouth's desire to sign him on a perm. I think Chelsea will really try and make that work, just even for a few million quid, like 3, 4, 5 million, just to get it, get it done. I see it happening personally, and I see Kepa agreeing. Mike Penders will come in. He'll be evaluated as a young player. If we don't buy a goalkeeper, I kind of said in all the collabs when I was chatting to the boys that Petrovic I see him as a bit of a placeholder. He's still quite young. He's 25. He's a couple years younger than Sanchez. Sanchez I've seen enough. I know they like him in theory as a thought exercise, as his potential profile, but he's been playing in the Prem for years. For me, he's just not it. But looking at Georgie Petrovic here on SofaScore, look at all this green bars, his recent performances, very, very good. Look at this here, recent average SofaScore rate. His average SofaScore rating is 7.41. 7.5, he got an 8.3 recently. His recent form is scintillating. I mean, his average is over 7.4 for the season, but his recent form, like against Lyon, bro, his last game against Lyon, he got an 8.9 rating, 9 saves, 2 out of 2 run-outs, high claims, just an absolute insane baller. And I'm starting to think, like, of course, Ligue 1 isn't... I mean, it is quite similar to the Premier League Ligue 1 in terms of style of football. The quality is nowhere near the same, of course. But I'm starting to think, like, he could be... I'm like, if we go into next season with him as Chelsea's first-team goalkeeper, I'm kind of feeling a little bit more okay about it. Do you know what I mean? Because seeing stuff like that is pretty darn impressive. Of course, we want a passing goalkeeper, yeah. But I looked at the percentile of Georgie Petrovic on FBref for passes attempted for a goalkeeper. He's in the 99th percentile. No goalkeepers pass more than him. So it's attempted. It's not necessarily completed, but he's playing a style of... I mean, this is very much going on with the Blue Co. They want Strasbourg to play the same as Chelsea in the academy. The goalkeeper sees a lot of the ball. They play a lot. I mean, by the way, so he's in the top 1% for goalkeepers passing attempted. So he is a passing goalkeeper. Mate, freaking Strasbourg are in 5th place. They're in 5th place. They're 1 point off Nice in 4th. Actually, who are the same in Monaco in 3rd. Obviously, PSG are running away with it. But 2nd place is Marseille. And they're only 3 points ahead of Strasbourg. Strasbourg are in, scintillating form. And absolutely... I mean, they've won... Out of the last 5 games, they've got 4 wins in 1 draw. Scintillating form, bro. Chapeau. They're doing incredibly well. And just for reference, Rob Sanchez on FBref is just significantly lower, and he's dropped some stinkers recently, 5.9 against Man City, 6s and stuff. It's just not for me. So let me know what you think. Do you think Georgie Petrovic could be the guy? Because I'm starting to think maybe he could be. More Strasbourg-related stuff in terms of Andre Santos I want to look at here. Also, I saw some report coming from L'Equipe that... Kendry Pies could go on loan to Strasbourg, which, by the way, I wouldn't hate. Many of you would be like, no, Jan, he's a superstar, he's coming to play, he could be a rotational player for Enzo Fernandez. I think that's Andre Santos, and although we know the likes of Estevan Willian is a superstar, and wingers, when you're a winger, you're allowed to be a little bit more... mistake, you can take more risks, but when you play centrally or in defense, you've got to be really, really disciplined. Kendry Pies is a sort of number 8 attacking midfielder guy. Maybe he could just do what Andre Santos did and just really, enjoy a season in Ligue 1. Many Chelsea fans will be frustrated, but we've got so many talented young players coming, mate. I think you could survive with Kendry Pies getting a European loan for a season before he comes into the Chelsea first team, especially with the likes of Andre Santos coming back. I'm not saying that's definitively what's happening. I just saw it reported, but of course we'll follow the story and see if that happens. Let's take a look at Andre Santos' FB Ref scouting report. This is his strengths, obviously. And boy, howdy, is he strong in terms of his strengths. Bearing in mind, he's playing as a sort of... He can play as a central defensive midfielder, but his offensive output is insane. Look at this. The 99th percentile, top 1% for midfielders across Europe. He's top for goals and shots. He's top for goals and XG. He's top for non-penalty goals. He's in the top XG. He's a top 2% for non-penalty goals. But he's not just this attacking midfielder. He's a defensive midfielder as well. Tackles won, bro. 98th percentile. Do you know how wild that is? Goals, 97th percentile. Pass as well. He's not just defending. He's not just attacking. He's amazing at long passes. 97th percentile. Anything above like 80 is good, especially for a young midfielder. But all these to be the high 90s is insane. And guys, literally, it's everything. It's goals, it's tackles, it's passes, it's dribblers tackles, it's mid-thirds, it's defensive actions, it's fouls drawn. Andre Santos might be the best footballer in the world. I'm being silly, but my word, bro is absolutely tearing it up. So I wanted to, because look, I think probably he'll be looking at that Enzo Fernandez role. I know many people are talking about him defensively, and I'm about to show you an understat comparison, which is forward play. So it really is, it's not taking into account all the amazing defensive work which Santos does. I think probably he's a better defender than Enzo Fernandez, Andre Santos. So bear that in mind before I show you this. I think he is a better defender, but this is the understat comparison from this season. If you look here, the green is Andre Santos, the blue is Enzo Fernandez. And by the way, Fernandez is having an excellent season, and he's just dropped an absolute, historic masterclass against bitter rivals Brazil for his home country Argentina. Like, his stocks are, Enzo Fernandez stocks is super high at the moment, rightly so, and he's of course Chelsea's vice captain. But Andre Santos has been wearing the captain's armband for Strasbourg. It's all pretty positive stuff, really. Look, very, very balanced graph here, chart from Fernandez, very well balanced in terms of his creativity. Santos, the young man, the young Brazilian, so hopefully no fights with the Argentinian Enzo. He's stronger in XG build-up per 90. He's significantly stronger in goals per 90. And then obviously Enzo Fernandez is more creative. Key passes per 90, expected assists per 90, assists per 90. But what this doesn't show is defending. Let me just see if I can pull up. Okay, so I've just pulled up on SofaScore for reference. A little bit fiddly here. So this is Andre Santos. Let's have a look, shall we? In fact, can we... Hold on. Nah, I'm making it complicated for myself. So let's just have a look here. Andre Santos, interceptions per... Tackles per game, 3.5. Balls recovered per game, 6.1. Let's have a switch over to Enzo Fernandez. Balls recovered, 5.3. Tackles per game, 2.4. So Andre Santos' defensive numbers are significantly stronger than an amazing footballer, Enzo Fernandez, who's been, a leader for us. Again, better creative numbers. Santos is seemingly, again, different league, context required. Santos is better at finishing, goal scoring, finishing moves, and defending. And Enzo Fernandez is better at creating, which kind of makes sense. So they could really, really complement each other. I think Santos could play the Enzo Fernandez role and score more goals, like crash the box, like Enzo's been doing. Andre Santos could do that because he's a goal scorer by all accounts. But it is very, very interesting indeed, and I wanted to highlight this scenario with these players. So I really want to put it out to you guys. Let me know what you think about Georgi Petrovic. Could he come back? Could he be Chelsea's... he will come back. I'm pretty sure he will come back. Will he be Chelsea's goalkeeper? Would you be happy with Petrovic coming in after these amazing performances and then Penders sort of waiting behind him? And does Santos start for Chelsea, somehow? I mean, does he? I think probably not early doors, and then he becomes that sort of, touchwood Champions League group stage starter, or league phase, should I say, and off the bench in the Prem and start the cups, and if he's good, he benches someone. Do you know what I mean? Very exciting though. Hopefully, it all comes to pass. Yeah. Guys, let me know what you think. Are you happier with this setup, this camera angle? I mean, the lighting should be more even. The setup, I think it looks like a little bit more personable, like looking straight down the barrel at, the camera. So hopefully you guys agree. Thank you as always for joining me and supporting my content here on Football Therapy. A little reminder, a gentle reminder that if you want more content from me, you could go check out Football Yannick, which is the non-Chelsea content channel. Super simple to find. All right, take care. Hopefully see you soon. Enjoy the football. Peace.